All right, hi there, Andy Sallmon with Marelux Precision here in sunny La Jolla, Southern California. We've got a beautiful 78-degree day here. People are out diving, they're out swimming, and doing all kinds of things. Boys over here playing some soccer in the park. Might get a little loud for a second, but we're on site. And I wanted to go over my favorite fast features with the Marelux housing. There are 5 of them that I really love about this housing that some of the other manufacturers don't have. Number 1 is on the back of the housing are latches, okay? And our latches are pretty much accident proof. You've got to push in, depress, and then lift them out. Both of them have to be out for the housing back to come off. So I call that a secure lock latch system. That same type of system is on the front of the housing up here that locks down the port, so there's no port rotation possible. So these are big pluses. Harder to flood the housing, of course, okay? One of my other favorite features is internal, and we're going to cut away and do some internal stuff in a minute, but that is the green fluorescent O-rings. These O-rings are high contrast. I know some people think they're really ugly. I think they've kind of grown on me. Anyway, they're kind of cute. So if you have pets, if you have animal hair and you're putting your system together, if you're around sand, you're around salt, we're around all that stuff, or some of that stuff, every one of us that's an underwater photographer, you're going to see those hairs or that debris or whatever it happens to be over your housing much better because of the high contrast color here. All right. Also, the housing has got a disengagement ring that goes over on the focus and zoom gear. So you don't have to pull the gear out or the control out to disengage the 2 gears. You simply rotate this ring forward and that disengages the gears internally on the housing so that you can take your camera out and put your camera back in. The 5th one, I forgot for a second, was the Posilock tray. The Posilock tray on the inside of the housing that your camera attaches to always lands the camera in the exact same place. Some manufacturers have them set up so they're just got a little bit of play, a little bit of movement, and that's not necessarily a good thing because if the camera goes into a slightly different position each time and one of your key buttons or controls or one that's off one of your levers is off by just a millimeter, then that means that your camera is turned just ever so slightly. With the Posilock tray inside of the Marelux housing, that can't happen, it won't happen. Now, those are the 5 fast features. I want to talk about a couple of accessories. Again, on the back of the camera, a must accessory for me is the 45-degree optical viewfinder. I love it. Some people like to just look at the back LED screen. I like the magnified type viewfinder. And of course, that means that if you want to shoot vertical, you've got to be able to rotate that viewfinder. That's very, very important for that type of shooting, which I do quite a bit of. And I also rotate the 45-degree viewfinder on a sunny day like this down because it's basically a magnifying glass on the inside, and I don't want that heat going into the camera and warping the camera's sensor. Inside, we're going to cut away to this in a little bit, is a thing we call the Flashfuel. And the Flashfuel is a flash trigger with 2100 milliamp rechargeable battery via USB-C type of a cable. You can remove the whole thing, you can put it in, it's good for 300,000 flashes. I said that, 300,000, not 30,000, not 3,000. And it doesn't require battery replacement. It's rechargeable. So this thing is great, one of my other favorite features. And then finally on the exterior, you can see the crossbar mount here. Crossbar mount is a good handle, so you can pick the housing up, you can hand it up to the dive master as you're getting back onto the boat. Good place for them to grab it. They don't have to worry about touching something somewhere else. And it's also a good mounting point for ball mounts so that you can attach video lights, or in this case the Artemis 500, which is also a video light and a trigger, so you can automatically trigger the Marelux housing at the camera inside up to about 10 feet away. So that's it. We're going to go ahead and cut away and show you some of the inside stuff and some of these features up close next. Okay, so we've got the safety lock latches on the back here. They need to be depressed with this little spring-loaded tab here. So you have to press those in and then rotate them up and all the way up in order to be able to take the back off. So then the back should lift off, hangs up a little bit from these little T-posts. That's what makes them so secure, that and the spring loading. Now you can see one of my favorite features here. That's the high contrast fluorescent green O-ring. So you can see that that's nice and clean. If something was laying across there, you'd be able to see it real easily. Then we've got the ring over here, the disengagement ring on the focus zoom knob, and by rotating that, you can see that what's happened is the gear on the inside, the drive gear, has been pulled back away from the main gear on the lens itself, okay? So we're getting ready to take the camera out, so we want to do that. Next, of course, we want to remove the hot shoe. We don't want to pull on that, that's just a wire. While we're there, we're going to show you the Flashfuel real quick. The Flashfuel is our trigger, is an optional trigger actually, that I got big fingers, so, oh, there we go, I got it out of there. You push down on these two tabs and you can slide it right out, and then it locks back in. You can see the triggering sensors right there. It's a 2100 milliamp battery, and it's good for 300,000 shots. Requires this little frame inside, so that comes with it. You put the frame in, and then you can put your Flashfuel in. It's rechargeable. You don't have to replace batteries. Uses USB-C, real easy, and it goes forever. Okay, so I'm going to leave that out. This is disengaged. Now we got the pause lock tray. We're going to flip the lock on that. Make sure the wire's out of the way. And we're going to lift the camera out now. There's a pretty big zoom gear on this wide angle lens, so I'm going to tip the camera just a little bit, and there you got the camera out. And you can see the inside of the housing there. Very simple, everything very elegant, well made. We'll put the camera back in. What we do is go straight in, and we're going to line the pause lock tray first thing, give it a little tip to get past that bumper on the front, lock it down, put the Flashfuel hot shoe back in place. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and re-engage the zoom gear, check that, make sure that's working. Now you could do that after you put the back on, but if it wasn't working for some reason, we had bumped the zoom gear, it'd be better to have it still open. Then we're going to replace the back on the housing. Back of the housing is nice and clean, there's no debris on it. O-ring still looks good. Line it up, close the two latches, and then we got a vacuum and we're ready to go.